KTNG 860 AM Unity Community Radio, home to the global community in Compton, California. It's for the people, by the people. And make no mistake, we're anti-corruptible, so the buck stops here. And now your host for the Compton Weekly Editorial of Community News, your news director and general manager.
Tacos con mucho chile
and grit.
Welcome to the Compton Weekly Community Editorial from your community station, KTNG 860 AM, with your host,
Tacos con mucho chile
and grit. What is he? The American Militants on the Digital Dial. This is a public supported sponsorship, and we encourage our listener supporters to stop by our Facebook page or website and leave us a message or a much needed donation. These are broadcast notes for the editorial week ending 3/23/2014, archived. And we start today with our hottest issue ever, the shish kebab.
Oh yes, but first of all, I want to say to my Facebook friends who receive my news in the Facebook, I send shouts out to you all. Now, in regards to Compton City Hall.
Compton City Hall meeting, which was this past Thursday. And they went Tuesday, my bad. They were going over referendums for setting up a food market for low-income people to use tokens, which I think is an abomination of, getting real money out of the whole thing. But they're looking for ways to helping feed the poor more nutritionally than ever. But when it comes to nutrition and the safety of food, they're stuck out an eerie sixth finger that looks more like a thumb, a very sore thumb at that. And I do believe on this shish kebab that the name Bobby Ray came up.
Sure enough.
Bobby Ray, that sounds like somebody next to Baba Booey.
No, Billy Bob or Cletus or Jethro or, then crack is down south,
Goodness, well, anything.
Billy Bob names.
Well, shoot, anything south of the Mason-Dixon line is the South. I thought you knew, okay?
Damn.
Yeah, well, coming from firsthand, it seems that Tacos and Grits was basically amused.
Oh, yes.
Highly amused that this gazpacho, okay, I'm adding my little salsa to it, this gazpacho, all right, Blanco man, okay. Gringo. Is a Gringo Scratch Perry himself, had the nerve and the audacity to condemn food vendors and truck vendors who served food and said that the service was okay, but the food was nasty, and some of these people need to be reported and told upon, or snitched upon for that matter.
They were illegal and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, he said they were illegal. And my first thought was that, how could you base that on something that you see and never ask any of these people if they were legal or not?
Well, let me tell you about this character. This character, according to my sources, he's a long-time Compton resident for decades.
Decades.
Okay.
Decades.
And according to my sources, he is now well liked by the Latino community that know of him when he speaks out at the City Hall podium. According to my sources, for some reason, he speaks bad about the Latino community. Now, how true that is, I don't know, because I don't know him for those decades. However, it kind of reminds me everything that black and brown folks have been fighting. Divide and conquer.
The race baiter.
Race baiter. And see, this character here, he reminds me of a terminal walking cancer who has no cure in sight, like a canker pus, like a canker sore.
Like a goiter growing on the side of your neck.
Right. It's always a little spot in the wound that becomes a canker sore. Right? So I didn't know about this character until he opened his snout, and this, according to my source, his name is Robert Ray. Y'all come back, now he here. I guess this is the kind of people you find mostly at the Cletus Moonshine Jug and that Possum Grill down somewhere.
Somewhere in Compton, who knows?
And
but see, here's the thing about it, is that he got up on the podium and declared that the food vendors and the truck vendors were illegal, and said that the food was dangerous and it could cause problems. Now, my argument to that is that, well, if that's the case, then you have all of white corporate from 7-Eleven, Burger King, McDonald's, Carl's Jr., Denny's, whatever, that's sitting out there. They're filling up more of the commercial space down there, which surprises me that Compton would give up that much land to sell, especially when you build all this commercial space and nobody's renting them. So, what better way to recoup a tenth of that money than to have corporate come in, white corporate, come in with their foods, their drinks, everything that makes them money at the expense of the poor black and brown people constituency in Compton.
their health.
It puts their health at risk. So here I see two hypocrisies going.
Well, the thing about it is that I wrote an article when I used to work for that defunct newspaper that I guess it no longer exists, the Compton Tribune. I wrote an article specifically about those junk food places that are killing the black and Latino community in Compton. Almost in every corner you go to, there's always a junk food place. And most of these corporate junk food places, they contribute to obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart attacks, and what have you. Yet, where are the small black and brown businesses? Now, here's another thing. If this man condemns those illegal trucks, taco trucks, lunchers, or whatever, how come he didn't attack the lunch truck that is allegedly in front of the DMV in Compton, that is owned by some people that are relatives, according to my sources, to one councilwoman, Arsenio?
Why? Well, it's real simple, because it seems that Bubba Ray knows which side of the bread is buttered for his constituency or for his self-constituency to have a voice in City Hall to make those claims when you have corporate white America's chemically built food on every corner in every mall. I mean, there's more of those drug dealers than actual drug dealers. As a matter of fact, we cruised through a strip and we practically saw only like 4 prostitutes in comparison to the 30 or 40 different fast food chain restaurants.
Well, this is not a personal attack on Councilwoman Arsenio, but just the fact that they have brought out that she is connected to, as a relative to the people that own the luncheon truck on DMV. in front of the DMV. How true that is, I don't know, but my sources in Compton are, it can't be wrong because I got it from different sources.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. The people at the city hall were complaining about the potholes, the dark lights. These things that are happening and not being taken care of. Where's the money? And where's the money to tear down that bridge on Rosecrans again? Where's the money? Where's the money trail?
Well, let's look at the money trail. Well, you got a money trail here that white corporate America is supposed to have all these restaurants, and I'm hoping that they are chipping in some sort of degree, maybe 2% to the state for taxes at best.
Well, let me ask you this. Now, because come to think of it, how many of those junk food places are owned by black and brown folks?
A scant percentage includes somewhere between 10 to 15%, if that. But since these are franchises,
I didn't see any.
These are franchises, and guess what? Anyone can build a business in Compton and not live there.
I see.
There are certain people that basically do have businesses, even if they're family-owned businesses for generations, that have been there and have yet to contribute anything to the city, other than just their place of business, their historical references, and that can be, what corporate Whitey's been doing for a minute. Since they're doing that, they're pummeling in. They're making in excess of like $3 billion a year just with restaurants alone, just with these, McDonald's and everything else. However, they do have, I'm looking for the good side of this. They have McDonald's offers a scholarship to college, okay? So does Coca-Cola. So there are a whole bunch of these name brand areas.
But
these brand names to products.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. Check this out.
Product placement, I love it.
Why is it that over 95% of the customers of all these junk food places are black and brown? I rarely see any gringos like Bobby Ray or whatever his cracker name is. I don't see his kind in those places.
Because of the marketing. Notice that the marketing, whenever they're marketing, these fast food places are marketing, they're marketing to a specific audience. Well, for black people, it's always about pork somewhere on the damn sandwich. Okay, you can't have a hamburger without pork. You can't have an egg McMuffin without pork. Pork is what they're shoveling. And guess what? LeBron James supports pork. He endorses it, all right? He doesn't have to eat it, but he's holding the damn sandwich, okay? So here again, you have this $3 billion a year drug dealer killing people faster than drive-bys out there. And you know something? The ignorance of it all is this, is that it starts at home. Kids get tired of eating the same foods their mothers and fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers and ancestors have been eating for like generations. They want something different. So what do? They go out to the fastest thing they can get to. Convenience is the only sin that leads to gluttony, greed, deceit, betrayal, you name it. It goes down the 10 Commandments. I got 13 of them.
I suggest the black and brown folks in Compton and everywhere, to please go patronize your local mom and pop eating places.
Why?
Let me tell you. There's Taco Mexico, right across, I forgot the name of the street. Taco Mexico, right there in Compton. They make the food right there. It's okay, it's a franchise, but they make their food fresh. I've been there.
Okay, so fresh food franchises are a lot better than, say, something that's already prepackaged.
Right.
Okay, so.
Now, if you go to Maria's at 11-11-11-1-5 Wilmington
the crazy burrito,
right,
El Burrito.
Burrito Loco, right there.
Burrito Loco.
On 111th and Wilmington. Now, she makes her food there. Now go to my brother, Cliff, on Alondra in Santa Fe, nearby. You know, they
make food.
They make their food there.
They make their food.
Okay.
Natural ingredients.
And it's a black-owned place where sell soul food and Mexican food. The workers are Mexican. He's a black enterprise owner. You know, and by the way, this is very important. If any brothers out there, black or brown, have any businesses out there, you know, that are serving the community food, you know, restaurants, cafes, whatever, is owned by black and brown, let us know. We'll send out a few props here and there.
Yeah.
Because we want our people to eat healthy. Okay? So if your brothers and sisters out there, black and brown, you know, let us know. We'll give you some props. Díganos a nosotros que ustedes tienen restaurantes no comida rápida y nosotros los anunciaremos. Just let us know. And we'll help you out. You know, a little we can. We'll send out some props to go visit you. Just let us know. And can you tell them how they can reach us?
Why, certainly, by our Facebook page or our website at mush777.wix.com/KTNG86AM.
Or go to capital E period small f period Mohammed MOHAMM dos M's, two M's, ED Martinez MARTINEZ, or go to my email Aztec AZTEC Chicano CHICANO Intifada INTIFADA @yahoo.com. Look, we're here for you. You're the community. That's what we're all about. Tacos and Grits is for you.
And we're all about your voice. We'll be right back after this.
And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community. And once you can create some employment in the community where you live, it will eliminate the necessity of you and me having to act ignorantly and disgracefully, boycotting and picketing some cracker someplace else, trying to beg him for a job.
Tacos con mucho chile.
And grit.
I remember Buffalo. Okay. All right, okay.
To the wall.
To the wall, to the wall. No blindfolds, no cigarette. Ready, aim, fire. Shoot the ass. And we're back. Okay, and our next subject here. How do the Korean gouge for delivery, how to do the Korean gouge for delivery, or who in the hell decided that the cost of living index becomes the war chest that's going to keep all of Los Angeles County from going into bankruptcy? Still stumped there? Okay, you'll get the hint when I do a wraparound for some of you waiting on the truth of this shish kebabbing. I say this first. People need to shut this crap down. They firmly have to they have to come together and shut this down. Why? LA County MTA is proposing a 3-year rate increase on public transportation every 3 years. Starting this September, expect fees to raise from 2% to 7%. Doesn't sound like much, but in the course of time, expect to pay as much as $25 more by 2021. Now, it doesn't seem like a long time from now, but as always, people will hem and haw about it, meaning they'll just conform to the reaming with no Vaseline. Talk about rough riding in the prison system. Many people who are low income, i.e. poor as fuck like me, are going to find that walking and or riding a bike will become an alternate method of transportation. Let's look at the fees, and you be the judge. I mean, the fees are right there. They're expensive as hell. By September, the monthly bus pass is going about $100. by 2017, they'll be discontinued altogether. So they're going to rein in that first 100, and there's the millions of people who do this stuff. Now, who is the majority of the MTA riders who will be taxed beyond belief to keep the rich richer? Okay, poor people.
Okay, but see, let me go a little bit deeper than that.
Deeper?
Yes, the root of all the problem.
You know, this whole article just sounds like a bad sexual innuendo.
Okay.
It does.
The root of the problem is, if it was up to me, if I had the power,
oh man,
I would round up, you know, like the Migra rounds up our people.
Uh-huh.
Well, I would like to be the
Pinche la migra.
right, la pinche Migra. Well, I would like to have the honor to round up all these oil executives in occupied America, round them up, put them up against the wall, and don't even blindfold the son of a bitches. No cigar last minute.
Not even a last meal.
and have Panfilo, my general. Panfilo, you know your job. Put him up against the wall. Put him up against the wall. Say, Panfilo, you know what to do.
That's right.
Ready, aim, fire.
Crackdown.
Right.
And
Gracias,
Panfilo.
Panfilo. You done your job.
And Whitey's on the moon.
Mira, I tell you that the price of oil would go down.
When Whitey's on the moon.
Right.
Okay.
See, that's why. You gotta understand the mind of the Euro-American corporate America. Okay, corporate America has no heart. There's not people at all. Okay. But let me ask you, and think about this also. How many black folks, brown folks, control the oil business?
Sad to say, a scant 0.03%.
If any.
If any.
Okay.
In this country.
In this country.
Okay.
See, the thing about it is that it's like the same thing. How many black folks or brown folks manufacture AK-47s or grow cocaine here in East LA or in Compton?
I would say a scant 0.0001%.
But yet,
The war on drugs, the war on poverty, the war on the wickedness is against the poor people. Okay, not the instigators or those who have power in lobbying such things, because this poses another issue. You know, why is the mayor, okay, you know, Sir Slim Shady a la Shalom Martinez, Gil Garcetti, okay, he's a Mexican Joe. He's a Mexican Jew. So
yeah, I know. Shalom Garcetti?
Shalom Garcetti, okay, and his champion.
Pero habla español, eh?
And his champion of segment, riot-busting Martin Wrigley Thomas, who spends most of his time grandstanding his political ego, more so than helping the poor who voted him in both in. Okay, over $35 billion a year. Okay, is what's proposed out of this, you know, out of this rate hikes. So that's going to generate revenue for the city, or for the county for that. Never mind the social programs that could benefit from it. Never mind the multitudes of single mothers, wage slaves, and cornucopia of Disneyans who are supplicating the service because everything out here is like a random peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Fact is, by question, when high-end extortion is apparent, why won't the people take it to the county, do a sit-out of the MTA? Are they feeble-minded, or do they just not care as long as it doesn't affect them?
Mira, let me tell you, there's a lesson we can learn from Mexico. You know, in Mexico they have called the freedom fighters, called vigilantes. Mm-hmm. But actually what they are fighting against the drug cartels continuing the murder and the extortion and the drugs and corruption. Okay, well, maybe in America that's inevitable. I hope not. But you know what? You ask Leroy the wino or Pancho Borracho,
Oh, damn.
About their lot, economic, or a family who's barely making it, about this bus hikes, and they have to go to school, they have to go downtown, they don't have a car, I mean, they're strangling the poor working class people.
So again, the class war.
Absolutely.
It's a total class war when it comes to the bus system out here. And, very seldom, and it's a bad thing about it too, because it's very seldom that you will see white people import themselves through the barrio or through the hood for that matter. I've yet to see anybody white get past Wilshire Boulevard going on the bus. Once they get past Wilshire Boulevard, they're lost and it's like, let me off, I gotta get on the bus and go back north. Okay, the further south you go on the buses, the darker it gets. Okay, but here's the thing. People are limiting themselves and wholeheartedly dependent upon. I mean, seniors are going to get reamed as well. Students reamed. Everybody's going to get reamed for this. So as long as we keep perpetuating, fees into the MTA is not going to provide us with better bus service. Okay, the bus service today still sucks on the weekends. Okay, not only that, they're going to try and say, well, we need more fuel-efficient buses or clean air buses, for that matter. And what you still have, I'd say, on most of their lots, 60% of them are still running on diesel fuel.
Mira, here's an interesting thing. Just go to somewhere in the freeway, like from East LA, I'm going to Chino, right?
Yeah.
On the left-hand side of the freeway, I believe there are 2 lanes that the MTA have monopolized. It's almost empty during rush hour. A few cars are going that way, but you get fined, and I understand it's the MTA who built it, and yet on the other lanes, the traffic is barely moving. So why is it that they have a monopoly? Why is it that the people cannot go on those other 2 lanes when it's most needed to help offset the congestion on the freeway? And I'm talking about the San Bernardino freeway. I don't know about the others because, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. But I can't say personally about the San Bernardino freeway.
Well, they have rush hour services inside the city that don't go on the freeway. They figured the freeway is congested enough as it is. So by riding the bus on the freeway, even still, you get away from the toll bridge. But get this, you get on the freeway, they pull the bus over on those little toll
and you get
bridges.
Fined, and you get fined.
You not only get fined, if you're riding the bus, you pay an additional 50 cents just to get from point A to point B in between that. Which again, bait and switch, and you're scalping the public. Is that not a mess or what? Jeez. The fact of the matter is this, people. If we all take into account of how we travel and, not utilize our businesses, our black and brown owned businesses, then traveling from point A to point B to get a piece of furniture or to get something to eat and so forth should not include using the bus.
I would like to know what the bus riders union is doing, because I haven't heard much. I hope they're doing something, and if they are, I would like to hear from them.
Yeah.
Contact us,
We're not hard to find.
No, just contact us, because we're here for the community. We want to be the voice of the community. We're not perfect, mind you, far from it. But you know what? We want to serve the community.
And the only way to serve that is to quote impose a strike on the MTA by August.
Or better yet, they can contact me through my telephone.
And let's organize a strike.
My phone number, 323-246-1581, 24/7. 323-246-1581. You know, and Mohammed Martinez, E.F. Mohammed Martinez at your service. You know, we're here for you. You know, and if we're gonna fight, let's fight together. Because what ails you, what hurts you, hurts us too, because we're being affected too.
Yep. So therefore, people, we need to perform what is known as a Reese's peanut butter block. Black and brown, block it up, baby. Block it up.
We want to practice what we preach.
And we'll practice it, whether with sticks, with bars, or maybe with a fruit pie, who knows. But we'll be back after this.
Like they said in that movie with the spider and the pigs and shit, greetings and motherfucking salutations. It's your friendly neighborhood Luke Cage. You are tuned into the Mothership Breakdown. What up, y'all? And I'd like to big up everybody. How about that? You know, this is Disc 9.
Mental health and the reason it's not covered in the Obama initiative of quote-unquote brother cheaper. Or what side of the white toast is hypocrisy buttered on when the KKK sets up extermination camps in poor neighborhoods as opposed to areas where the working per capita is over 1.2 million a day? When it comes to crowd control, Planned Parenthood, aka formerly known as the American Birth Control Center or Society, has more offices and abortion clinics in communities of color than anywhere else. Having remembered the Nazis' plight of eugenics to kill off the black man, they did so on their first experiment of 600 black people, or black children, and women who had children from black men. They exterminated them all, they killed them all. Okay, and guess what? America supported that shit. So therefore, you know, America has not lost its pace in killing its population of color through economic apartheid and lack of support interest to make communities of such equal to livable equality to any other suburb. Because of a lot of transparency, the wall to the fabled dream is as long as it is tall, with a 500-mile-wide trench in front of it. This is the illusion exposed as the American nightmare. The question of folly stems from this unqualified personnel who don't live in the hood to begin with, like they know how to work with us. This prompts us to ask, why in the hell are we black and brown people the stigma of self-extermination than self-preservation in a culture? What's the benefit to population control when sending poor people to fight needless wars for rich people? Can you count your proud dead vets as heroes or kill them now as they live homeless around you with no help from city and state welfare offices still ill-equipped to help but rather medicate and dump somewhere from public view? Why in the hell are there homeless people laying around with mental health issues in the city of Compton when it's obvious that even in broad daylight and even at night, I mean, come on, we left out of a drive-through and we saw guys like laying there, you know, with no cover, no shoes, no blankets, no nothing. Okay, and then you have people who are rolling around with mattresses and shopping carts and everything, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, isn't there a place for them? You know, we had Tent City in Los Angeles, in downtown LA, and Skid Row before it was destroyed. Now Skid Row lives in peace and in some sort of coherent, competency with its white Disneyans, its white, middle-class Disneyans that live there and work there.
Mira, let me tell you, let me go back a little bit further. Back in the, I believe it was in the 50s, the United States had a sterilization program in Puerto Rico.
Whoa.
Until the people of Puerto Rico got tired of it and they put a stop to it, from what I understand. So the sterilization of people of color by white America is nothing new. back in the South, they had infected black Americans with syphilis. You know, the angel of death was not necessarily only in Nazi Germany. You know, Mengele. So Mengele is alive and well even today. You know, for example, I myself, I don't believe in abortion, but I think that a woman has, you know, a choice. You know, I encourage not to, but for the sake of abortion, you know, that's a choice, but I'm against it. But nevertheless, in the event of rape, incest, or whatever, you know, I can understand. But just abortion just for the sake of it, no. And so it has it's a good side and bad side. However, one of the things that white racist America is deathly afraid of is because white America is aging and dying out. As we black and brown folks are overwhelming this nation.
And we're winning the revolution without even firing the shot from a gun.
Absolutely. And we're recuperating Aslan without even having to fire a shot from California to Texas.
Allahu Akbar.
You know, Allah Akbar.
That's right.
But coming back to oh, by the way, genocide. The word genocide. What does the word genocide mean?
The complete extermination of a race or beings.
What do you think Manifest Destiny was originally all about?
I don't know, but I can hear this helicopter flying overhead, so obviously somebody's listening. So,
you know, so Manifest Destiny was part of Planned Parenthood in their days. You know, the Native American Indian, Planned Parenthood, their version. White race America's Planned Parenthood.
Well, I got a lot of Native American Indian friends who basically decry foul when it comes to Planned Parenthood as well as child services. They hate them both. It is the white man sticking their fingers into, you know, the families of colors interest in pulling it apart and saying, you don't know how to make a family, you don't know how to train a family, you don't know how to keep a family, you don't know how to do anything with a family, but you do know how to make babies. So therefore, we have to stop you. We have to control your growth in population.
I agree. But
I don't know what we did, dude, but the sirens are getting louder.
Okay. Oh, they're coming for us.
They're coming for us. Oh, crap.
Oh, yeah, they heard us.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Salsa, man, salsa.
Oh, man. Ya vinieron por nosotros. Ahí viene la migra. Nah, it's not. But, you know, the thing about it is that the extermination of people of color in this country is prevalent. It doesn't have to be outright, but they're doing it through our stomachs, like I told you before. Mm-hmm. You know, the junk food places. They're doing it through drugs and what have you.
Mass manipulation.
But again, on child services, and I tell you because I did my internship with Protected Children's Services when I was a college student. There's good and bad in everything. It's like fire. You can burn or you can warm yourself. Water, you can drink or you can drown. Well, with child services, many children have also been saved by child molesters, child abuse. Mm-hmm. You know, you gotta see it both sides.
Yeah, child services should get a hand on that one lady that got an 8-pound baby, 20-pound baby. The kid's like looks like a living Stay Puft doll. Right. That's child abuse.
So when we go to Planned Parenthood, we got to. I see it on both sides, you know.
It's an evil, but it's a necessary evil.
Right, you know. Like I said,
So,
in the event of incest, rape, and what have you, you know, I understand.
well, let's go good, but here's the thing. Name one white neighborhood that has a Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles County, period. Okay, you will not see one in
No,
Beverly Hills. You will
that's
not
true.
see one on the Wilshire Corridor at all. Period. Okay, you don't see one in Chinatown.
But you know why? You know
You
why?
don't see one in Little Armenia. You don't see any of that shit in Glendale. Okay, you don't see any of it in Tahunga. All right.
But you know why they don't have any of those in the white neighborhoods?
Well, that's right. They're dying off anyway.
Right, they're aging.
They're aging.
And let me tell you, you go downtown from here, from California to Texas, you go to any town, any city, and just walk on the main streets. What is the percentage of black and brown folks walking and consuming, buying, working on Main Street America, if it's not black and brown folks? Does that tell you anything?
Yeah, I tell you.
Now you go to any school, what's the percentage of black and brown kids going to school? White. How many whites?
Few, if that. But see, they're
Lesser and lesser.
lesser. I mean, when you start at the dividing line is Wilshire Boulevard in LA County. That's the dividing line. Once you go south of Wilshire Boulevard, you go further south, less and less. Except along the beach areas where you know damn well we cannot afford. Okay.
But
inside of those pockets, we hold the majority.
But in all fairness, there are some good white people out there. Okay.
Oh, of course.
Now, you know, I mean, this is not a paintbrush generalization. Okay, but see, you gotta understand, this message that I'm sending and we're sending is against those bigots, fascists, those that don't want nothing to do with black or brown folks. They'll say hi and everything because they don't have the huevos, the balls, to tell us what they think.
That's because it is their entitlement that saves them from embarrassment. A self-righteous entitlement, okay?
Look, I know.
We call that racist entitlement. So therefore, those are the assholes of the day, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of good white people, man. You know that on our side, really. You know, that I know. You know, and besides, I have relatives that are married to white people, you know, and they're just as beautiful, good people.
Yeah.
And then again, don't forget, in all fairness, you got some black and brown assholes out there that I wouldn't give them the time of day. Yeah. Just look around at Compton School Board, City Hall. Mm-hmm. Okay, would you invite them to dinner?
Yeah, I would invite them. I got a big pot. So I can boil their ass. But here's the thing, though. These are the same self-defeating people who are basically basically doing what is called mass manipulation, because you have a mass of characters, both black and brown, who are only interested in self-extermination. These are your gangs. These are your knuckleheads in jail. They're the most easily influenced. They're the most easily misguided. They're the most easily tricked into. They think they are smart. No. If you was in any particular gang, you would be in a gang to dissolve the racist intentions that you have between each other. Realize that you're being played on both ends.
Mira, there's a lesson to be learned. Okay, there's a lesson to be learned. If you go to Africa, from way back to present date, there are many African nations in Africa, tribes, and there are many Aztec, Latino, Mexican, Central American, South American, Caribbean, indigenous people. What do they have in common? When they kill, when they go out hunting, they kill an animal, They bring it back. They all share collectively. They don't. They do not like. It's only for me. No, no. See, you understand the mind of the African and the indigenous Indians in America too. The indigenous native indigenous people. You know, we as a whole. You know, our ancestors, they shared what little they had, whether in Africa or in the Americas. We shared. We shared collectively. We didn't allow nobody to go without food. We didn't allow starvation. You know, we did not bring the diseases to this continent. 1/3 of Europe was dying the bubonic plague. 1/3 of the population. And you know why? Because they didn't have the 3 basic essentials. Or they did, and they didn't know about it. And that was soap, hot water, and hygiene. That's all. And because of the stupidness, of the ignorance, 1/3 of the European population died in the 1300s.
And that means 9 times out of 10, the solution to our problem here is getting all of our brethren, black and brown.
Nobody's going to do anything for us except ourselves.
And the oppressed must never become the oppressors.
Amen.
We'll be back after that.
Enamórate, enamórate de mí. Enamórate, enamórate, enamórate de mí.
Okay, and we are back. Okay, we'll be back after the bathroom break.
Tacos con mucho chile.
And grit. Back. Gotta love white America. Anyway, so we're in our final stretch here, and we're talking about the good and the bad and the ugly of entertainers, sports writers, or entertainers, sports athletes, you know, that sort of thing. Why do they not have the wherewithal to become intellectuals that could become a threat? And it's simple. Everyone has a path that they choose to be on. Okay, just like in King Arthur's day, you know, you got a king, you got a court jester, you got a sorcerer, you got your knights. Everybody plays a role. Shakespeare says everybody, you know, all the world's a stage and everybody has a part in it. So you pick your part, you make good with it, you try to do good with it, and so forth.
Pick a part? What do you think this is, a fucking junkyard or what?
Yeah, but hey, come on, man. We're, you know, put a little salsa on that one, you know? All right? You know, it's sriracha. Straight sriracha. It's Chinese hot sauce. That's all they're doing on that flatbread pizza crap. Anyway, for example, notice that, you know, Julio Iglesias, and we can go back to Senior's Day, all right? From his father to his son, these guys have like wowed billions of women across the planet. But can anyone name one damn thing they've done good for the community? Have they built schools?
Have they built homes? Have they took care of the homeless? Are they trying to find and make apprenticeship programs? Are they trying to encourage or mentor kids? No, these guys are in the studio making the music, living their lives, blah, 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 blah. When up comes Shakira. International fame. She has international fame, but guess what? She's the fourth richest chick in the music biz. Okay? She is a brown person. Get this, people. She's from Colombia.
And Lebanese.
And she's from Lebanese.
No. She's a Lebanese descendant.
Lebanese descendant. So when this woman's got all this money and she meets President Obama because he likes the ideal that she's putting up schools where there are black children who speak fluent Spanish, and she's building schools for them. She's got 2 in Africa, okay, and she's got like 5 or 6 or 7 of these things in South America. Obviously, Oprah, you are losing the battle, okay? But here's the thing. She's doing this because that is central to her heart. Now, not a lot of people realize that Christina Aguilera and Shakira both had the most of their lyrics written in their earlier albums from Full Force. You know those guys. Come on. Lisa and Nicole Jam. Brothers who made millions off of writing music for these cats. But yet still, you have, Shakira and Christina Aguilera, they're giving back to the communities. They're giving back to the communities for what they've made. Okay? Now, when I'm looking at, Ludacris, who now has a court judgment where he has to pay child support because he's made so much, he has to pay $10,000 a month for child support. Yet, he's got some charitable things happening in Louisiana. He's got some charitable things going. There are notable stars. Okay, Angelina Jolie, for example. Needless to say, her and Madonna have had this, has had this race of how many orphan children from places of continents of color can we rescue and bring them here and make sure they have a great life. That's all good and said, but let's think about the families they're tearing apart. All right, so here you got you have like a lot of entertainers, basketball players, soccer players, and everything and so forth. And these guys are making buku money. But the question again is, what are they doing with their intellect?
Mira, let me put a little Mexican flavor here.
Yes, sir.
Mira, during the 1985, I believe, earthquake in Mexico City.
Yep.
Many people died. Now, before, I never cared too much for opera and all that. I thought it was, not for me. However, check this out. During the earthquake, there was one Espanol from Spain in Mexico. And they were showing the news, right? They were interviewing people cleaning up because there were people trapped underneath, right?
Oh yeah, rescue efforts.
And I saw one guy there with a handkerchief on the head, handkerchief in the head, and doing manual labor, trying to get the brakes and everything from underneath. And they interviewed him, and he looked familiar. And guess who he was?
Ooh.
Yeah, right alongside with the poor people and everything, he was doing the same thing. There was the opera singer Placido Domingo, of all people. And I said, wow, such a person like him, doing manual work, I had so much respect. I never, like I said, I didn't care too much for Oprah, okay? But because of what he was doing, I said, I gotta learn more about this guy. And sure enough, I got stuck to his music. So I listened to, okay, now, there's another one. People make jokes about him because he's gay. They call Juan Gabriel, they call him La Wanga.
Oh, God.
La Wanga. And they can make fun of him, but you know what? If they really look at him for what he is, he has opened orphanages. he has both of them, Plaza Domingo and him, they gave out concerts in behalf of the people and the victims of the 85 earthquake. However, some of the so prominent musicians, singers that are still on today, you know, and they come here in concerts, y la jodida. People give money to go see them. They pay a high price to go see those bastards. But they never moved a finger to help their own people in the earthquake. You know, and sadly to say, I really don't care for these bastards because they're out there for themselves and not for their people. You know, and I lose respect for people that make it and do not give something back, you know, and if anybody out there listening who will one day will make it big, you know, the next Serena Williams or the next Juan Gabriel, you know, please remember where you came from. Please remember to give something back. Shakira, hey, my sombrero is off to her. She's done a lot, okay? And there's some other few. There are a few other black and brown people, and white too.
Oh,
and white too.
But check this out.
Sean Penn,
he's
Brad Pitt,
still in Haiti right now.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Not let him
Brad Pitt in Louisiana. You know, when he went to Louisiana to help out there.
Oh yeah, even even Ice Cube. He helped you get.
Oh yeah, Ice Cube. When we went to the Jena 6, you know, in solidarity with the Jena 6 in Louisiana, according to the people that were coordinating the travel to the Jena 6, you know, they said, oh, Ice Cube donated this, I think it was three buses, brand new buses, you know, and this happened in September the 19th and the 20th of 2007, you know, where it was the fight for justice for the Jena 6, you know, so, and I was there, you know, and because of Ice Cube, you know, I want to say gracias, Ice Cube, for what you did for us, and for the Jena 6, you know, and we arrived, we came back. But the Ku Klux Klan over there were not very happy campers when they saw 200 buses full of people from all over the nation, bikers, black and brown bikers, going in support. Okay, like I said, I want to say thank you to all these black and brown people from all over the country, from Mexico, from the United States. You know, they have supported their own communities.
And these are artists and musicians. I mean, Stephen Cromwell, who plays for Seattle, is a native of Compton. He has a master's degree.
And Serena Williams sisters?
Yep. And the thing about Cromwell is he has a master's degree, and he's part of the Super Bowl champions. So, and not only that, but he himself basically has donated time and services to helping the community.
I want to thank him.
So, therefore, it's not just having, that pantheon where we should have intellectual. If we can have the intellectual in both sports and music that sees what their community, that has a heart for their community, for where they came from, 5% of the stuff that's needed to be done can be done through them because they're making the money.
But I also urge and ask the people, black and brown people, if you come across these people who have done things for us, please go up to them and thank them. Even if you did not benefit directly, but you know that their heart's in the right place, thank them. If I ever see James almost white, I'm just kidding, James. I'm just kidding. If I ever see him, I want to thank him.
I want to thank him too for keeping me out of jail when I was sweeping all the evidence in the street corner during the riot. So I have all that on tape.
So please, it works both ways. They help and we thank.
That's what Tacos and Grits is all about, baby.
And we say gracias.
Hey, don't forget, we're on when we're on. But we're getting close to getting software, and that'll be happening once we get our radio station happening and the antenna. We have a spot. It's going to get better. But unfortunately, people, we will be moving from the Sunshine House to the house of ill tacos.
What?
Yeah, buddy, that's right.
You're coming to my casa?
Yep, I have to because.
In East LA?
Yeah, well, you can take a look at this shit.
Damn, there goes a goddamn neighborhood.
They served me this morning.
Oh, shit. Let's say, oh my God, you're being sued. All right. Pues paga la renta, cabrón.
Yep.
Pay the rent.
With what?
Tacos and grits?
Maybe. That's it, folks. We're out of here. Okay, and in parting, our final shout-outs for the day.
Well, I think I misjudged Councilman Isaac Galvan of Compton. At first, I didn't have too much of confidence in him. But as of lately, I think, I will admit that he's doing okay so far, and he's listening to his constituents. And I see him more vocal in his dissent, and fairness. So I think this kid deserves a break. As long as he's doing right, we don't expect him to do everything for us. No, but at least be fair. And I think that he's trying. So for my own benefit, and his benefit, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that I think he's trying,
And from the unknown that is never addressed, I'm watching you, Bub. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, the people are watching him. But I think if he keeps up what he's doing, I don't think he will have any problems from the people that voted for him. And who knows, they might vote for him again. But like I said, we don't care what color he is. Even if he was black, brown, yellow, it's what's in your heart and what you do with yourself to those that put you there. That's all that matters. If Galvan was black, I would feel the same way.
You've just listened to the Compton Weekly Editorial of Community News from your station KTNG 860 AM, the American Militant on the digital dial. This is a public-supported sponsorship, and we encourage our listener supporters to stop by our Facebook page or website and leave us a message or a much-needed donation. We have to do for ourselves, and to keep real public radio alive and accessible for all helps develop accredited programs of apprenticeship in the media arts. Teaching a career skill set that isn't entertainment requires the full support of the community, so please make a kind donation. Thank you for listening and enjoy your day. This is KTNG 860 AM. And nah, we didn't do that. That wasn't us.